And we should be live. Everybody hear us? You guys hear Troy? You hear me?
Hi, everybody.
Okay. All right. All right. Administrator in the room, please take care of that. Get ready to drop an IP if you find one there. Go ahead and boot them out of the room. Actually, boot them off the website. We don't need to put up with that. We don't want people to have to put up with that here. Thank you very much. So, Troy, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you back with us.
Yeah, I'm still kicking. Had a bit of a thrill out here, but things are still fine.
Had a bit of a thrill. Well, tell us about your thrill. I'm going to sit back and listen to you talk tonight.
Yeah, well, 11 o'clock Friday night, fortunately, I was on the phone with my mom on Skype. That kept me a little bit calmer. You got sort of a connection with somebody, it helps a lot. But I heard this horrible loud slam and bang, and a camper jerked. And then I've not been around bears much, but I heard this growl and grunting noise that's right out of the TV shows. I knew it was a bear without a doubt. And I shouted to my mom, "Pray for me." And she had no idea what was going on, and she kept saying, "What? What's wrong?" And I was saying, just shouted, "Bear, bear." She says, "What?" And I said, "Bear." And I think my shouting probably scared the bear. And then I jumped up and down screaming, just to see if I'd scare it off. And I think that's what happened. But I tell you what, I didn't move much for the next hour. I stayed away from the windows. My cat shivered like I've never seen. It was so pitiful. She was all fluffed up and just shivering uncontrollably. She was too scared even to go hide. So, but he went away. But I have to be honest, when I get home now, I leave the truck running, the headlights on. I run in, flip on the outdoor lights, run out, shut off the truck, and run back in.
Now, was it a black bear?
Yeah, we have a resident bear in the neighborhood.
Okay. Now, I have a friend of mine who ran into a black bear, and he was down in Tennessee. He never realized how big bears get. And and a black bear is only like 400 pounds. When they get good size, that's a good sized black bear. Now it'll mess you up. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Yeah.
not like you're running into a Kodiak or something like that. I mean, those are grizzlies are much bigger. So, yeah. Well, other than that, you've been doing quite a lot around there. So fill
Yeah.
everybody in. Let's answer some questions. Let's fill everybody in what's going on around there. And if anybody wishes to call in, uh,
Kill some guy. Some guy's back. Kill him.
okay, she'll get that IP and block that IP out.
Yeah, no, it's busy here. I'm still unpacking, still settling in. Can't wait to get my electronics going on and get my workshop set up. I'm starting to work on engines, but I don't have my tools out yet. Still trying to get something running. So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically not really digging into anything deeply. I'm trying everything I have and see which is going to be the least amount of work and cost the least amount of money to get it running. And then I'll settle on that and get myself a generator and a chainsaw.
All right. And what else you been working on? I know you've been putting up some other goodies there.
Let me think. Well, I'm getting a lot of care packages with a lot of nice, useful stuff. This guy Dave has been sending me some good electronics and wires. I'm getting some nice snacks and food and stuff. I got my solar charge controller properly hooked up and running well. And the next thing I have to do is get my battery box built, get my, gonna build a cooler box around that thermal electric cooler. And I'm working on my propane fridge right now, but that video is going to be uploaded later tonight, so I don't want to ruin the surprise for y'all, what I'm doing so far in that.
There you go. Well, there's somebody put in a room. Turn my volume up a little. I don't know if I can turn my volume up and move my face closer to the speaker or closer to the microphone. Bear meat would have been good. Now I know you're not supposed to hunt on the property, but self-defense that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. To be honest, last year I took out a raccoon that was eating my birds, and I have no remorse because it destroyed a lot of birds.
There you go.
But there was another raccoon, a bigger one, and he is smart. He teases me. I'll put out traps, and he somehow gets the meat out of the trap. and then he springs the trap and sits there looking in my window, waiting for me to look out. And then he runs. He sits there watching me. And so I thought about I was staking down the meat inside the trap, staking down the trap, doing everything I could, and somehow he would empty it and then spring the trap and then use or somebody's saying use peanut butter. I'll try that, thanks. And then yeah, then he'd sit there and look at me.
Yeah, like that's they are little bandits. That's the hard part about catching coons, and it's it can be rough. It can be rough.
I think we need to get some hand grenades and tripwires out here.
That's like squirrels. Squirrels are really hard to catch.
Oh no, they're not.
No, I have a terrible time. Now squirrels are like my nemesis. I have a hell of a time with squirrels. They
No,
drive me nuts.
you're right. I've never caught one, but pellet guns are very nice for that.
Well, you can shoot a coon with a 22, but trying to catch one in a trap, I have a heck of a time catching a squirrel with a trap. I really do. It just they drive. Now in the country, I don't have a problem. I can go out and catch one, but in the city here, they are just too smart. They know every trick in the book.
Yeah,
I think they must get some kind of little manual they take with them places.
they're smart. They're really intelligent. I actually don't like killing coons because they are so smart. They're really intelligent animals.
Yeah.
But he's taking my food and taking my pets, and I don't like that.
There you go. All right, so do we have any questions for Troy? If you wish to call in, the phone number is 513-258-5969. And that's 513-258-5969. Now, I know, Troy, you've got some people who have been calling you lately, and one of them was in the room earlier. I don't know if he's still here in the room. Let's see, who was that was coming by? They're a driver, they're a long-distance truck driver, and they supposedly were coming by to check you out. Gonna catch up with you here sooner or later.
All right. Well, I've had a lot of private phone calls, a lot of private emails.
Our off-grid solar cabin, that's who it was talking about meeting up with you.
Yeah, he's on his way coming across country soon, and he's going to cross the highway down here, and I'll hook up with him. Hopefully we can arrange it.
That's great. That's great. All right, looks like we got a call from Jersey here. Let's take this one. Hi, can you hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was wondering, how long has Troy been a survivalist?
How long has Troy been a survivalist, or how long has he been out in the
No, just as a survivalist, how long has he been studying this?
All right. Troy, you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been into survival since I was a kid.
Thanks for the call.
It's in my blood. Actually, my mom said there's a bit of Indian in me, and I think that really is a strong part of me because I love nature, I love survival, I love back to basics, and I've been really heavily into off-grid living for the last year, but I've been easing into it for the last 5 years. So hope that covers all the answers it well.
Yep. Yeah, Robert Landrum says Dave Canterbury should just taken a couple of big rat traps just for that purpose. Yeah, and Dave lives right up the road from me. He's about an hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from me. Dave is. He's a good guy, real good guy. Some guy's back. And of course, as soon as he puts that up, he leaves. So hopefully they'll be able to catch that sooner or later. But anyway, he's a good guy, and he suggests rat traps. Rat traps are one way to do it. I would prefer snares instead of cage traps. Depends on what you're going for. Sometimes rat traps don't always work on really big squirrels. Make a big squirrel mad.
I've got an actual squirrel trap, but it still sits empty.
Yeah. So here we go. Hey, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you guys think that, the aliens are going to attack or something? I was hearing about this stuff.
Do we think the aliens are going to attack? I don't know. You feel the aliens are going to attack. How do you feel about aliens out there? You're out in the
That
woods. Have you seen any strange things happening?
No, honestly, that's an interesting question because where I live, the town is a huge. Back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, it was a major, big alien sighting area. And once or twice, I think it's twice a year, they have an alien fest.
Yeah.
And all the shops in town have pictures of aliens in them. And, on the windows. And it's this big alien in the area. I'm not sure what I believe. I actually honestly think that it's military experiments because we're not far away from West Point. And honestly, just from what I've studied and experienced and seen, I'm pretty sure it's military that we're seeing out here. That's just my opinion.
All right. Well, I knew that because you had talked about the alien stuff out there, and my question is, after talking with Les Stroud and a couple other people, there is the point of, do you get? Hold on just a second. Hang loose there for a minute on that number. Do you get anything with Bigfoot? Let me get this call real quick and we ask him. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I've seen a lot of looters going on when these things such as Hurricane Katrina and such. These people are, it's very disgraceful. They rob your houses, stores. Do you think it's the black people who do it, or
Ah, okay, we know who this is now. All right. Well, so much for the private numbers. That must be our buddy there.
Well, it could be a legit call in. It could be a legit call, and I'll answer that question. But honestly, down in Far Rockaway and in Staten Island, they were neglected. Breezy Point, Rockaway area, actually where I used to live, beautiful place. They were neglected, and people were looting out of necessity. And they had nothing.
Right.
And there was a lot of looting. There was. And what are you going to do? There was no police, there was no heat, no power, no nothing. No food, nothing. People were defecating in the hallways.
Yeah, that's true. They had people up on the 20-some-odd floors were defecating in the hallways. And, the toilets don't flush after so long, not enough water. It gets pretty nasty.
Yep. So, back to Bigfoot.
Castle, are you working on that, I hope? And
it sounds like he's probably changing his IP a lot. If everybody just ignores him, he'll go away. Don't worry about it. Somebody asked me what's my plan to get water system working. I really want to get a rainwater collection system up, especially since it never stops raining. Right. I'm also going to try to dig a hole and up here by the swamp water.
If you have the audacity to believe in straight
see
talk,
if I can get some of that for bathing. I won't. I can run it through a light filter or bleach it, and it'd be awesome to have a hot shower.
If you believe nothing beats a sit-down for knowing where you stand.
Speaking of hot showers,
join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and Think Time make a difference.
Yeah, I was really busy working on the truck since Friday.
Of investing.
And the truck is doing well, but I spent a lot of time up there and, working on it. So I haven't started digging.
If you have the audacity to believe your financial advisor should focus on your long-term goals, not their short-term agenda.
Join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and Think Time make a difference. At Edward Jones, it's how we make sense of investing.
Commercials will go away. We have now, what was I going to say? We have about the 6th of next month, the commercials will go away. We're switching over, taking care of that problem. We have to go with a different server, which is no problem with us. It just means we've got to throw more money at it. And different people will see the ads at different times. It depends on the time that you came into the room. Depends on the ads that you see. So that will be coming around for different people for different things. So we're just going to keep on rolling right through them, people. That's how we're going to deal with this, because half of you will see them and half of you won't. So it'll get better. It'll get better next month. Trust me, it'll get better.
I wanted to get back to the Bigfoot because it's interesting that you asked that and mentioned it because I've been reading the Backwoods magazine,
right?
And they seem to be strong believers in Bigfoot. And then I've been talking to some guys on the comments, and I wasn't sure if I believe or not. Honestly, I live with an open mind, but one of the guys on YouTube on the comments had a very good point. There's never been any remains found. So I came back and said, yeah, well, maybe they're like the Marines and take away their dead. But then another guy came back and suggested it might be spirits. If you believe in religion, that's a possibility. So you know what? I still keep an open mind. I really hope I never see one. I prefer not to. Same with the bear. So, whatever.
Well, I have never found one, and I can't say that I don't believe, because we have found so many different things just recently in the world that we know it was like the 70s and 80s. We found certain species of animals, and we rediscovered certain fish and things like that we thought had died off. So, it might be some form of, gorilla, or I don't want to say Neanderthal, but it may be something out there. There might be something out there. Who are we to say? There are places on this earth that no man has ever been to yet that we know of, including, down in Africa, and not just Africa, but South America and places like that, where we have not set foot. We don't know. We just found a tribe of people, indigenous people, down there not too long ago. So these things do happen. But you hear any strange thumping noises out there that you can't account for? Any weird stuff that may go on your way?
No, not really. I can pretty much recognize anything in the night. So people keep asking for the call-in number, so if somebody could type that in, please.
513-258-5969, and we will not take private numbers, so it has to be a listed number, or I'll flip you over to the other side. So 513-258-5969.
No, I pretty much recognize, like, there's a lot of frogs, a lot of birds, obviously bear. The stupid raccoon keeps coming around and thumping around in the night, but I'm pretty sure that's what he is, because he rattles the skirting and bounces around underneath the camper, and
there we go. Hey, how you doing? Go ahead with your question for Troy.
Yes, sir, Troy. Hey, man, this is Gary from Texas. How are you?
Hey, good, thanks.
I sent you that package a couple of weeks ago, man. Glad you got it. I was just wondering, man, at a lot of your videos, I see a lot of stuff breaking down, things giving you a hard time. How do you keep a positive frame of mind in these kind of times,
Yeah. That's a good question. I think... See, I used to get angry pretty easy, but honestly, I don't want to go preaching all that, but I have become a Christian, and the more I read the Bible, the calmer I get. So and also I've realized that anger doesn't help you. So I've just learned to relax, take things in stride, and deal with everything.
I appreciate your call, man. Let me let you go on this. Thank you. Good call. Okay, so you read the Bible, and that gives you a calmer, gives you a sense of calm.
Yeah.
Are you? I don't normally ask this question, but are you? You said you read the Bible. Are you a very religious person, Troy?
Very.
You don't have to answer that question if you don't want to go.
No. I mean, I'm the one on video, so I have nothing to hide.
Okay.
No, I'm very religious. Very strongly. I never used to be. But about around the year 2000, I was an alcoholic, and I was smoking cigarettes heavily, and I was really getting sick, and it was coming to a bad point. And I got saved, and pretty much changed my life, and everything's better.
Good.
So,
good. Now I say good for you because you have found what you needed. I'm not a religious person myself, and I get some people who give me I can't switch over. Well, I can real quick. I can't switch over to read that, dear. So you'd have to send that to me in private. I'm getting a request in chat. But I'm not a religious person myself, although I do not disbelieve. It's just the fact that I don't follow any mainstream religion or anything like that. I believe there's got to be something more than this, but.
Yeah.
I am not what you would consider a quote Christian, because I have been to different churches and different things, and I did have a person point things out to me that I didn't quite agree with, but I feel wonderful and happy that you or anybody else who is a Christian who feels that way, or a Jewish or whatever, and you have your religion, by golly, that's you, and if you like it, that works for you, that's what matters. I think everybody needs to find what works for them. If you had come on here and said, I meditate, you know, I practice Buddhism and I meditate, that would have been perfectly fine with me because it works for you. And obviously, talking to you and seeing you with your videos, you know, you might get mad and throw a wrench around and scream and yell and stomp around and kick a tree every once in a while, but we all do that. So being able to calm yourself down and take care of things is very important.
Funny is, watching my videos, I'm learning about myself, because when I was making my sun tea and I was so excited, and watching my reaction to it afterwards, I let the camera run. Well, I mean, there was water pouring all over everywhere, so I just pushed the camera aside, was sopping up water, and I was really surprised at my own reaction. I didn't actually get mad.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but I didn't really get mad. So it's interesting to watch myself on video, and yeah, I left that section go. Just, I don't know. I just thought it was good to leave that part in there.
How many times do you shoot a video?
I have a camera with me everywhere.
I mean, how many? Like, do you reshoot the, you know, do you reshoot the shot over and over because you don't like what comes up, or?
No, hardly at all. Hardly ever.
Mornwood says hi, Troy. I don't know if you know who Mornwood is.
Yeah. Hi, Mornwood. I've been trying to text you back. You didn't see me.
Okay.
What I've learned to do is let the camera run, take a breath, and start over again. If I stutter real bad or if I really mess up, I just leave the camera running and cut it out later. So you guys might occasionally see, you know, little changes in my position from 1 second to the next, and I just let it roll. It's just easier.
All right, now I have an odd question, because I had a request earlier this week to ask you this question. It's the only question I received via email to ask you. The question is, do you use toilet paper or do you use a rag?
I love my comforts.
Hang loose for just a second, California. We'll get right with you. Go ahead. You use toilet paper or do you use a rag?
Oh, you're all right. Yeah, no, I love my comforts, and I stock toilet paper.
Do you?
I stock tons of it. If the system breaks down, I'm going to be happy, because I've used leaves before, and you know what? I don't like it.
There you go. There you go. Well, there was a big article that was out recently from another place who was like, don't bother stocking toilet paper, learn to use a rag and wash it like a dirty diaper. So
yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
for
All right, go ahead with the call. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, what I was hearing about it, you know, Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis balls, but that's a whole different story. I won't get too much into that.
Okay.
What? I didn't hear him, sorry.
Yeah, so...
Well, they hung up.
What did he say?
I wasn't really sure. Something about they weren't going to go into some kind of story, and then they hung up. I don't know who that was, but
oh, okay.
People were saying
all
trolls,
right.
But hey, whatever.
It might have been. I think it was.
It might have been. I try not to block too many people if we don't have to, and you know. Just keep going with that. I really just rather ignore people that put stuff up in the chat room and other things. So it's just not. Yeah. Somebody
asked how I plan on staying cool, and that's a good question because I'm already thinking about it. Okay. I'm going to dig. I'm going to dig a trench or a hole. I'm not sure. It depends on how hard the digging is here. I plan on digging a hole about 6 foot down, and I want to either put a long trench with a bunch of PVC pipe in it from one end to the other. People keep asking for the call number. If somebody could type it in, please. Anyway, I'm going to bury some PVC pipe 6 foot down, angle it up towards the ground on one end, angle it into my camper on the other, and have a fan running, and I'll have 50-degree air coming in. That's the way to cool your camper or your home. The other way is taking a coil of hose, and you can even use cheap garden hose, drop it down in that hole, coil it up, pump water through it, and use a radiator in your house and a fan and blow 50-degree cold air into your house, and it's all free. geothermal heating and cooling is a scam. I hope no professionals out there hear me say this. A lot of this alternate energy stuff is designed to make it look like only the rich can have it. Not true. Only if you buy the top-of-the-line professional stuff that only the rich can afford. But all of this geothermal heating and cooling can be done on a budget and nearly for free, which is some of the stuff I plan to show and actually do this summer.
Yes, we have a doctor's office. I told you last week. We have a doctor's office that has geothermal put in, and basically all it is running tubes down in the. You run a big long hose down into the ground, and coil it down there, bring it back up, and it heats up the air and stuff inside that tube, and or cools it down, and you run it under your floorboards, and it keeps your temperature of your place via the floor about the same temperature all year round.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not rocket science. It's really not. There are reasons why in the past people lived in places that were below ground. They actually dug some of their huts and stuff and lived below ground. They get out of the wind and they get down there and they keep cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter and stuff like that. So
yeah. What else do I think? Oh, you can drop a hose in pond, lake, creek, stream, well. You can use the cold water from that to pump through lines into your house. So there's a lot of various options.
And yeah, they're working on catching the troll, so just hang loose, people. You can always, if you can get to the name while he's in there, you can hit the ignore button and he'll disappear. He's moving pretty quick, and the administrators are doing other stuff and trying to get back to it and catch him at the same time and block that IP, so they'll work on it.
Well, the bigger we get, the more it's going to happen, so might as well get used to it.
Yeah. My other, I got one administrator here. The other one was supposed to be here tonight. She's out doing other stuff, so.
Somebody's asking me if I plan on hatching baby chicks. I got some Bantam babies, little tiny things. They're really growing up slow. They're so cute. And yes, I'm going to breed them. Good.
Well, then, people, you got to think about this too. Now, if you're gonna raise them up to do that way, you also got to eat. Let's see who we got here. Hi, you're live on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Rich, what's up?
Hey, it's Dirt, Big Dirt. You got a question for Troy?
Yeah, he took the hydraulics off his truck in that one video he did, and he was saying he was going to get rid of them.
Yep.
I was thinking, wouldn't it make more sense to hold on to them and maybe use them for something like a log splitter? Just turn them into something else. If he doesn't need a snowplow, he could still use the hydraulics and make something he does need instead of getting rid of them.
All right.
Interesting thought. Interesting.
Anyway,
now you got me thinking.
Thank you, Dirt. Take it easy, buddy.
Yep, bye.
No, that's a good question. I didn't actually think of something like that. The only thing is I'm not an expert on hydraulics, but I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, waste not, want not. I mean, it's like having what do they call it, a PTO laying around, something like that?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's a nice hydraulic pump with the hoses and controls and everything.
Yeah.
But, I might put it on Craigslist and see if I get a nice lump sum of money for it as well. So, yeah, we'll see.
Dude, is this somebody you know?
What?
I don't know. He's I got Dude.
No,
Dude 80's putting something in a room after this guy puts something up. Is this?
Keeps putting an address on there. I don't know what that is.
All right, Pennsylvania's calling here. Let's see here we got. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to Nintendo. Okay. Come on in.
I think for me, how much better the graphics are, the gamepad and the games themselves.
Just the way it looks.
And you can play with the Wii U gamepad. When you have the gamepad, it's easier.
It's a really fun time. It's something completely different.
We're all kids again, playing video games.
It's important for them
I'm listening.
to have that as part of their childhood.
Are you talking about using the pipes in the ground to cool your house?
Yeah, there's cellars underground where you can
Welcome to Nintendo. Come on in.
Oh.
I think for me, how much better the graphics are, the gamepad and the games themselves.
You talk bigger.
And you can play with the Wii U gamepad when you have the gamepad. It's easier.
No,
It's a really
I've
fun
been.
time. It's something
Hopefully, if I can get
different.
through the rock clear here, I plan on digging a hole and making some food storage down deep in where it's cold. So yes, I do want to do that. I'm going to experiment with various methods.
All right. Well, thank you for your call.
Wait. You
Go
guys
ahead.
can store drugs down there, right?
You can store what?
Drugs.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine you could. You could probably store anything you wanted down there. If you wanted to store drugs down there, or store your penicillin down there.
All the whole works, you know.
Yeah, whatever you wanted to put down there, you could. You know?
All right, sounds good. I may store a couple of my vibrators.
You never know.
It gets a little hectic.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, whatever you want to put down there, man. Yeah, you go right ahead.
Interesting.
Well, you know, one man, whatever you want to store down there. Hey, you know, end of the world comes. You never know how people are gonna react, right? You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's not my cup of tea, but by golly, I ain't putting a man down for doing what he wants to do.
Yeah. Robert's complaining about ads. How's it looking on next week? You said after the 6th or the 5th or something like that?
After the 6th, we are moving the server, and we have to after the 6th. Yeah. Hey, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, I was wondering if Tori has looked for any mushrooms or fiddleheads yet.
Troy?
Too early for fiddleheads. I keep looking. I stay away from mushrooms because of the potential to make a mistake. But I am looking for those fiddleheads.
Usually, isn't it Mother's Day for fiddleheads?
I'm not sure. I just.
Well, I live in Michigan, and we're starting to get them now, and mushrooms.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's surprising then. We're late. Well, I live on a higher hill here, so I have colder weather than most down 10 miles away, 15 miles away, it's warmer.
You might have to wait just another couple of weeks there before it comes in.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate your call. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, no, I thought it was usually like after Mother's Day, and then I know there's a big rush for morels around that time also. So pay attention. But if you don't know mushrooms, that's one thing that I don't tell a lot of people. If you don't know mushrooms, don't bother with them. I mean, there are certain things and certain plants that are easy for a lot of people, but mushrooms.
What are those ones? Morels, right? They look like brains.
Right. There's regular morels and there's false morels.
Yeah, and I used to eat them as a kid. We had them by the cabin, and growing up, we'd go get them every year. Oh, yeah. But, we knew that was what those were right there by the cabin. But now, in later years, I just don't want to make a mistake.
Right. Well, it better safe than sorry. Always go that route. Whenever it comes to wild edibles, I always tell everybody, I've been on other talk shows and other things that have gone on, and people have asked questions, and I had a lady, and bless her heart, I know she meant good, but she said, if it looks like a green onion, it's probably safe to eat. And that is false. And you can wind up dead real easy with that, because Death Camus looks like a green onion, and if you really don't know what you're doing, you can get Star of Bethlehem looks like green onions, or what people call green onions, which are a lot of times what they are, is actually a garlic. It's actually field garlic, and it smells like onions, and a lot of people dig them up and use them like green onions, but it's actually field garlic here in the United States. But they call them, they grow all over your yard. People cut them up, but that's no big deal here or there. But if it doesn't have that onion or garlic smell, don't eat it. Real simple. It's got to either smell like an onion or smell like garlic. If it doesn't, don't eat it.
I got a couple questions. People are mentioning goats. I want to get a goat for milk. Actually, I would love to have a couple goats. I'm looking into it, but they're pretty expensive this time of year. You have to wait until they're, you know, it's right now is the season. Everybody's buying them, so they're about $150 right now.
Wow, you got it cheap because my daughter just bought a couple of goats and they were $400 a piece.
Oh, it depends on what kind.
Right, and she does it for the milk and butter, and she also makes soap. She does it here in Ohio.
I plan on getting. I want to get a couple milk goats.
Yep.
People are mentioning tiny homes, and I have a dream of using a camper frame and building a really well insulated house on it with slide outs. I have an idea how to make slide outs that will not leak. And
you talked about that last week.
Yeah, well, somebody's asking about it again, so
getting that slide out now. I'd like to see the plan on the slide out because I'm right here by Tom Raper in Cincinnati, just north of Cincinnati. So Tom Raper RVs, he's got that.
So I hope to have a few more animals, but right now, because it's not my property, I have to check with the owner all the time on everything I do.
Now somebody says get 2 goats or more. Are they like herd animals? I mean, the goats, they prefer more than 1 or 2 animals? They prefer, you know, multiple goats around? Do they produce Do they produce better milk when there's more goats around?
I'm not sure, but I did hear that they should be together. Somebody says goat might increase your bear problem. Big Dirt says that was probably Rich walking around with his shirt off, not a bear.
No, I get accused of being the Ohio grass man. He's up in New York, so I don't have any relatives up there on my side.
Yeah, 2 goats equals many goats. That's my plan, exactly. Because goats, you know, well, same with chickens. You can breed them, you can sell them, and, you know, or eat them.
Yeah. Now, you got to watch out up there with goats and other things because you do have the bear in the area. You know, I have a friend of mine over in Washington, wait a minute, in Oregon, Washington, Got Rocks in Head. Got Rocks' Head is his name on YouTube. Anyway, Dan gets, he actually had one of his milk goats attacked by a mountain lion. And the mountain lion killed the goat and then was going to come back for it the next day. And what he did was he actually got permission to kill the mountain lion. You have to do that out there. And then he got permission that day and they went ahead and shot the mountain lion that night. And he skinned it with a rock. But he's a bad mother hummer, so... You know.
Well, I heard that goats will protect your chickens, so I'm not so sure. I actually thought about getting geese too, but they have a habit of flying away with the crowds because there's so many geese and wild geese in New York.
Okay.
Somebody's mentioning coyotes all over. Yeah, there's coyotes here in the property a lot, and they surrounded me once last year. It's sort of freaky. But I heard they don't attack people much, but it can happen. Oh wow, USSR, that surprises me. He was actually making halfway decent comments, and then he comes...
No, he left.
Yeah, I know, but
and
that's
not him. That's the guy come back using his... You can type in any name you want.
Yeah, okay.
That's not him because I actually know who USSR is, and he would not do that. So I know who that guy is. That's somebody just using the same name. You know, you don't log in here. You don't log in. You can log in with any name you want.
Yeah, I get you. Somebody's asking about a garden. Yeah, I want to get a garden. It's raining continuously, so it's really putting me off, delaying me. But yes, I'm really hope to get going soon. Plus, it's so cold. Right. It's still at 30s and 40s at night. Somebody said pigs. I actually quit eating pork a long time ago. I won't go into details why, but I quit getting into that. I actually am trying to eat healthier foods.
Yeah.
So.
I have a friend of mine who won't eat pork due to religious reasons.
Well, NYC camper, I don't know where you got the idea. I grew up in farmland, and I love gardening.
Yeah. Hold on just a second there. What'd you say? You don't do what?
Oh, I love gardening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We got a call from Florida. Go ahead, Florida.
Yeah, how about a 55-gallon drum? Take a piece of metal and make a cone to fix the rainwater.
Did you hear that, Troy?
I heard 55-gallon drum and a piece of metal and do what?
Say it again, please.
Um,
You had to speak up a little louder. We can't hear you.
okay, 55-gallon drum. Take a piece of metal, make a cone, and use that as a rain catcher.
Oh, yeah. I am trying to get some 55-gallon drums. Yes. And the cone, it would work. I've considered, like, I've used a tarp before. Tarps work well.
All right.
But I have these 40-foot long metal sheets I want to put up in the air as soon as possible.
All right. Okay. They hung up. I guess that was all the call.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got everything hooked up the way we normally have it. I don't know if everybody's talking low. I've actually got the speaker right underneath the microphone, and you just speak up a little bit. I know I hear a lot of people playing their computer in the background, so they're waiting on that reverb coming back. Remember, if you're going to call in, you got to turn one down or the other, or just state your question and keep moving from there. So hearing each other, you're waiting for yourself to come through on your computer. There's going to be a couple of seconds lag there. So, well, what's the next big project for you, Troy?
Get a generator running as soon as possible. I'm trying to go through all these motors and stuff I have, and I want to get a generator as a backup because it's so cloudy and rainy all the time. And then start running it on wood gas.
Now, there is a question in the room. Ever thought of growing fish in a pond? You do have a pond with fish that you are allowed to fish out of on the property. So
yeah.
We do know that.
There's actually a nice sized, I don't know if you'd call it a massive pond or a small lake, but there's all kinds of fish here. I have considered with my gray water making a bit of a pond, but that's low on my priority list. Okay, I've heard about putting fish in the pond along with some aquatic plants that filter the water out.
Right. Now, the other question we had, a real windmill. Now, I know you work with windmills yourself, and I know you were working on that.
Oh, Tuckerall said he couldn't hear me while he was on the phone. You want to repeat? I don't remember. I don't know, Tuckerall, who you were. What was your question? Type it in, and I'll get back to you on that. Oh, somebody asked, Robert, a DC generator for wind generator or DC motor. Yeah, the best DC motor to use is a treadmill motor. It's the easiest thing. All you have to do is spin it. And yeah, I convert table fans into a windmill. The box fan is the old school box fan.
Go ahead, Troy, with that. The old box fan. We'll take the call in just a second. Hang loose there, caller.
The older box fans with a metal casing have really nice motors. You put magnets in it, and it's in a windmill.
A second, phone.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your question. Sorry about that.
Sure, that's okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead. Coming in real good.
No, all right. I've actually spoke to Troy by phone before. And
okay, who are you?
Actually, I'm getting a bit of feedback. Can you just hang on a second?
Oh.
My name's Alan. I'm in Australia. Troy knows me. I've phoned him before. But I've got a couple of questions for Troy that I'd love to see him do. And the first thing would be to actually get that shelter over his camper. It's the priority. I mean, if you talk about what are priorities, you need that shelter over your camper now, not just to protect you, but also to actually collect rainwater.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's problem is.
I agree. Troy, the other thing I'd like to see you do, mate. I've got a load of feedback. Let me just get the questions.
Go ahead.
And I'll get off the phone. The one thing I'd like to see you do, Troy, is use some earth bags to build a raised garden bed, because your soil is very acidic. You don't have any choice here. All the actual acidity that's coming off those leaves each year, your soil very acidic, and you can have a lot of problems. If you raise your garden bed with earth bags even just to 8 to 10 inches, you'll at least give your plants a much better chance But my two questions are, get a raised garden bed, but first of all, get that shelter built over your camper as soon as you can, mate. All right, well, thank you. I'll get off so let someone else
Thank you.
have a chance before you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll give him a second because I know he's got some serious feedback. So I'll
Hang
give
on
him
a
a
minute,
second.
Maryland. I'll call you right back, or you can call in just a second, Maryland.
Yeah, I do plan on using raised beds because I'm going to do a no-till garden this year. It's something I've been studying, and yes, I will do so. Yes, I want to get that shelter above the camper right away for water collection and for protect.
We thought the same about our speakers.
I want to get that. Yeah, I want to get that shelter up right away for rainwater collection and protection against the sun because it gets hot in here. But wood over here is very expensive, so that's holding me back. That's a big problem.
Rich sound. Introducing the new all-metal HTC One. It's everything your phone isn't. Get it now at AT&T.
Me?
Yep, go ahead.
We may sound better facing the right way. Introducing HTC Boom Sound, dual front-facing stereo speakers with built-in amplifiers for sharp, rich sound. The new HTC One.
You know? I wasn't fed good, you know?
Well, survival. You got to eat what you got to eat.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is basically roaches, bugs, all that shit is good for you when you eat it. It's protein, man. I'm telling you, it's better than chicken.
Alrighty. It is. Protein. A lot of bugs are eating.
All that shit is good, man. I'm telling you. But when it comes to when you in jail, you gotta eat that shit.
Yep.
No, not a problem.
Thank you for your call.
I mean, you guys feeling your thoughts on that shit, but I'm just saying, you know, I eat it myself. I eat it now. You know, I still eat it now. It's good as fuck, man.
Yep. I've had insects all over. I've had insects from being in other countries. Not bad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's real good, man. Like, I still eat it now, as I said, you know.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I switched the fried chicken, you know, from this to that. But, you know, it's all cycle. Winter, you can't eat it. You don't find it around here. You gotta stick to your KFC, Popeye shit. Then when it's summer, oh, yeah, then you have a feast, man. Don't even have to fucking pay.
All right. Well, thank you for your call.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. You know, it's survival. It's I hope I never have to eat a bug.
You've never eaten bugs?
I have not. Not well. When I ride my mini bikes in Germany all the time, I ate a lot of bugs. But
well, yeah, overseas now in different areas, actually insects are a large part of their diet, and I prefer. I really do. I have had. I eat them at least a couple times a year. I like mealworms. I like fried mealworms. They toast up real nice and they're crunchy and they're nutty flavored. And I know a lot of you guys are taking them brown mealworms and using them to catch fish and stuff like that. But yeah,
I think those are so ugly. I don't even use them for fishing. I think they're so ugly. I hate them.
Actually, my mentor and his wife, which was Ron and Karen Hood. Karen actually had a video in one of her videos a long time ago called Cave Cooking, where she fixes up trout, small fingerling trout that she caught with mealworms that she pulls out of wood there, and actually cooked those up and ate them. And not bad. I've eaten them. It's very good, very good.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that processed food has bugs. Yes, it's true, and it's called natural flavors. I actually found out, I forgot what it was. I think it's a vanilla flavoring. Comes from the anal scent ducts from a animal.
Now, also, if you've eaten anything that's dyed red, you might want to find out where red dye comes from. Red food dye number 5 or number 3 or whatever it is. Yeah, you better look that up because it's a bug.
Yeah. Starbucks has gone to natural coloring, and they got the bugs in their red drinks.
Yep. So, you know, the only thing I can say for sure is if you're going to eat insects, make sure that if you eat grasshoppers or crickets or something like that, you cook them, because that kills the parasite inside them. They don't naturally digest food. They have a parasite that lives in their stomach that actually digests the food for them. which this insect, after you eat it, the parasite will get into you and not good. So cook them is the best way to kill all the parasites in the insects.
Again, you know what? I'll be eating grass before I eat bugs. There's all kinds of grass.
Now, you know, my buddy John Campbell, he's Arizona bushman, desert survivalist, however you want to phrase him out there. You know, him and Cody and a couple other buddies of mine out there, they actually eat the scorpions and stuff like that. And, you know, you cook them, you kill the insects inside there. And it's a bit of a fun thing when we all get together doing stuff. So, really great, really great. And actually, instead of eating the grass, you do better off to eat the seed heads out of the grass. And Dory Lynn says, I like Cody. Everybody likes Cody. My next door neighbor made me get a signed, autographed picture of him. I had to get that. But he actually called and sang happy birthday to my wife on her birthday, too. So, yeah, you have to... Yeah, stuff goes on. So, good people out there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of comments on the side here. I'm just going through trying to answer a lot of these. Yeah, somebody asked if I'm going to get more panels. And somebody else says, yeah, I need more batteries. It's true. I'm going to need more batteries first, and then I would like more solar panels. So it's step by step. It's like going up a stairwell, everything bit by bit. Am I going to build a greenhouse? I have a miniature one, which is fine. I don't need anything more than that just for starting my seeds. That's fine. Especially when I don't own the land. I rent here.
Right.
So.
And he's got some strict regulations on the people there. So what he builds and what he does. I know about the raised garden beds. He was actually your humanuring and putting all your table scraps out there and doing a really great job of getting that ready for raised garden beds. Next year you'll have some great dirt. So, what else you doing out there? What else is going on?
Well, I'm just cold and wet. I'll tell you what. Right now, I'm sitting on my hands.
Wow. What's the temperature?
Well, let me see. Hold on a second. Find a flashlight in here. What do we got? It's 54 in here, but it's a wet cold. It's that wet cold because it's raining, and that's the stuff that goes through to your bones.
Yeah. And we ain't getting no older, or I mean no younger. We ain't getting no younger. We're getting older, so yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody sent me a video. I think it was called "Alone in the Wilderness," and I need to get back to him and comment. It'd be cool if he's listening tonight.
Okay.
It was an amazing video of this man that headed out into the wilderness at age 51.
Right.
And he spent, I think it was 35 years. He was in his mid-80s when he finally said he was too old to handle the cold.
Okay, yeah, that's the guy with a cabin up in Alaska. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a call coming in from Texas here. Hold on. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Troy, you had this landlord. This landlord, I heard you were saying about on YouTube how she's a bitch.
Nope, she's a nice lady. Thank you.
Sorry, whatever it may be.
Oh, the old man, my previous.
Chickens and such.
Yeah. My previous landlord.
Your previous landlord. Okay.
He kept my birds.
Yeah,
he said.
I can whack her if you want. I mean.
Oh.
Thanks. No, I don't want to talk about that on the air. We don't want to talk about whacking somebody. Appreciate that one, but no, that's the same. All right, now, yeah, your previous landlord you had problems with, but yeah, Troy's Mafia there. That's the same person
right.
called with a different, yeah.
Well, Seeds said, I'm living in a camper. It's not insulated, and it can help affect my health. Honestly, I think that you get pretty tough. I've realized that the body can endure a lot and adjust itself to what you're going through. Somebody mentioned on a comment today, seeing me running around in a t-shirt, said it must be pretty warm there. Well, not true. My friends are wearing winter coats when I'm walking around in a t-shirt next to them. I'm getting used to it. So.
Yeah, the body can acclimate to a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, my camper is not that wet. There's no moisture on the walls, so there's no worry of mold. Somebody commented about mold. I keep it. My wood stove is a dry heat, and when I burn the fire, it's great. A wood stove is very good for a camper. It takes all that moisture right out. Also, because it sucks so much air in and pumps it out the chimney, it recycles all your air in a fast time.
Well, the one thing about your wood stove, when they talk about moisture, is you've actually got a water jacket for yours.
Yeah.
And you've got, the ability to, basically crack it open a little bit and leave a little moisture going into the air. Or you can always put a pan, if it gets too dry in there, he can always put a pan of water on top of the wood stove to
anybody that
stuff like that.
Anybody that sees my videos will see when I do show the wood stove, there's a pot. I have a cast iron pot full of water on top of the stove always. So
it says, Troy, don't you have a few areas of standing water? Skeeter slings coming fast.
The mosquitoes out here can be pretty horrible, but fortunately the wind out by my camper is also pretty horrible, which mosquitoes stay out of the wind.
Yeah, that goes back to last week. We talked about somebody had mentioned putting a camper closer to your water source, which would then put you in mosquito territory also. Yeah. So, I mean, there's reasons why people didn't build their camps right down by the water.
Couple questions. My previous landlord, I really don't want to talk anybody down, so I'll be very careful how I say it, but he wanted more money, and when I wanted to live in a camper, he wanted more money for that because he thought I was going to make a lot of money on it, so he wanted more rent, so I left. He decided.
Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Troy, how about the whacking thing? I mean, I could do the job.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, my ex-landlord decided to keep my chickens for whatever reason and said, if you want to have birds, you can start over again. So, whatever. You move forward. What else? Can I mix 12 and 24 volt panels? I am using mixed 12 and 24 volt panels because what happens is my Harbor Freight panels are great on cloudy days and early morning, and they produce more power in the morning and evening and in the cloudy times. And the larger 24 volt panels work well in the daytimes and sunny time. So for me it's working, but I do use diodes in between, separating them all. Yeah, the chickens, they love eating mosquitoes and anything else that moves. I do keep them right up close to the camper. So...
seriously, why are the weird people calling? It happens. I was on last night I was over with Bev and Noreen. If you don't know who they are, they're part of the Homestead Honey crew from Prepper Broadcasting. Great ladies. And they were doing a Google Hangout, and the same stuff goes on over there. It just happens. You have this stuff come in, and it goes that way. And if we had everybody register before they came into the chat rooms and did all that kind of stuff, we could probably get rid of a lot of them. But the fact is that since I'm the front man of this thing, we don't want to make everybody register. I want you guys to be able to sign in with what most names you want to sign in with and be here. And we're going to have to put up with those people. Now, if you click on their names and just hit ignore, if you go over into the chat room and you go over on the right-hand side, you you left click on somebody's name, you'll see where it says private chat, profile, or ignore. If you hit ignore, that person will go away and you will never see them in the chat room. Okay, so you'll be able to get rid of them that way. As far as the IPs and other stuff, I'm actually missing a couple of my chat administrators. We've actually got a couple of them hanging in the room. I can get 200 people in this room. Now, there's only 37 people in the room right now, but there's 46 people watching. So I know there's a bunch of people outside the chat room who are even watching this thing right now. So they can do that, call in, things like that. So yeah, we're going to get that.
Yeah, you know what? I had this lady, Sandra, was going on my videos and insulting me on every video, continuously insulting me. And you know what? Let her rant. I don't care. I don't take offense easy. And, comments are comments. I'll take the good and the bad.
Yeah. Might as well find the good in everything and laugh about it. And all I can say is, hey, for this price, where are you going to find that kind of cheap entertainment?
Yeah, Mornwood asked, was it that one girl who battled us? No, that was a previous one. This was recent, this other girl. But I thought it was just entertaining. The lady had something going on. She left me eventually, though. Now I feel lonely.
Well, you know, they what happens is people get tired because they don't get, you know.
Yeah, they don't get you riled up. Yeah.
If you guys get riled up, they'll just keep coming back.
Yeah.
If you just ignore them, they go away.
Yeah.
Takes the wind out of their sails. Me, hey, if he wants to store drugs in a lower shelter in a 55-gallon drum, go for it, man.
Yeah. Seeds asked me if I'm allowed to use it. I use the fallen trees for anything I want, but the problem is, I can't build anything permanent because it's not my place. Crawdad, the socks are amazing. I love them. So.
And tell your friends, be here next week for Troy's show. Well, they can come all week for all the different shows we have here. And tomorrow night is Dude Jerky, 80 podcast channel guy. And tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, we have Mornings with Maha at 10 a.m. Dude Jerky goes on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for Maha and his morning coffee crew. And this is all Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow night, at 8 p.m. we have Dude Jerky with his randomness that we don't know what he's going to do because he likes to play it that way. He's a good guy. We really enjoy his shows. But you know what? Your friends, your buddies, I know Troy puts this out every Monday night. Troy's going to be here. I can fit right now 200 people in this chat room. We can take phone calls all night long. You guys can go to the top of the page. You can go up there and leave a message for Troy. You go up there and it says contact us. You go under contact us, and you will actually
He had the old Wii, and the friend's like, I got this new Wii U. We actually went to go look at theirs.
We'll get them and read them off to him during the week.
We got to upgrade. Nintendo has something for everybody. I can play with my kids. I can play with my wife. I might give up my other consoles for this.
That's the biggest difference to me is that we all get to play.
All right, guys. Well, we got to sign off. I do have a video I'll be uploading. If the internet is good, then keep watching. Should be about an hour.
Yep, and so Troy's going to upload this, and then it'll take me tonight to get this switched around into format so that I can give it to Troy, and he should have it tomorrow.
Welcome to Nintendo. Come on in.
Upload it tomorrow, okay?
I think for me, how much better the graphics are, the gamepad, the games themselves.
And you can play with the Wii U gamepad when you have
We look forward to seeing you all here next Monday.
It's a really fun time. It's something completely different.
We're all kids again, playing video games.
It's important for them to have that as part of their childhood.
Well, I just want to thank you all for being there. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, and your comments and support keep me going. Thank you.
And if you're in the area where Troy's at up there in New York, give him a holler, give him a yell. Check out your website, Troy, is
theoffgridproject.com.
Theoffgridproject.com. So there you go. You guys check that out. Get with him. Check all this cool stuff that's happening up around there. If you're in the area, swing by, say hi. All that good stuff. Troy, my friend, I appreciate you being here. You're a great guy.
Yeah.
Wish you lots of luck. Watch the Bears, man. Watch the Bears.
I don't want to see the Bears. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope you see them before they see you next time. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Keeping the Bears out of there. Now, have the cats been scared since the Bears been around?
No, she recovers quick. She's seen a lot of bad stuff out here in the forest, a lot of freaky stuff, and she recovers quick.
All righty.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a good night. I appreciate you being here, and we'll definitely be looking for you for next week.
Yep. Thank you very much, then.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Y'all have a great night. We'll catch you later.
Bye, all.